What about now, family? We got sound now? I think we got sound now, family. Let me know. Let me know if we got sound. When one's in the chat, if y'all can hear, you know how we do in the features, man. We can't do a show without. I'm so muted. We can't do a show without the nonsense. 1 second, family. What about now? Can you hear me now? One? Okay. Y'all know we can't do a show without the nonsense, right? You done know. That's how we do in the features, family. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Family. Ren and Stimpy is fighting. They is fighting. The protocological irritant known as Sneako, he decided that he want to go out of Tate. And now this, look at here. Family, this is like really low energy stuff. Right? We wouldn't want to be dealing with this. We really don't want to be dealing with this. The only reason why we're dealing with this is because millions of Muslims are following these dudes like the goddamn Pied Piper. It's insane. The leaders of the manosphere, they're having a girl fight over who's the biggest white supremacist. This is crazy. It's absolutely insane. So before we get into that, I want to, let me just take these headphones off for a second. 1 second, y'all. Okay, I'm going to take them off for a second. Before we get into that, family, I want to go serious before we get into the nonsense, all right? So make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, hit me up on Patreon, your PayPal, whatever, because we don't get funded up in here. We are ghetto fabulous, family. You get me? So before we get into the nonsense, okay, we got to get into the serious stuff, right? We said we actually put out many times that your YouTubian Da'wah Elites are shifting right on the political spectrum, but not just, right. They're going far right. They're going white supremacist white, and they're not even hiding. They're not joking about this. Sneako, he was campaigning with Nick Fuentes to be president of the United States. Nick Fuentes, the closet homosexual, okay? A self-admitted incel and white supremacist. He's campaigning for this dude to be the president of the United States. Y'all hearing me? Both Sneako and Andrew Tate have expressed their undying, unrelenting love for Zaddy and them. But where is all this coming from? You see, if you can imagine North America like 500 years ago, okay? And then we're going to get serious before we get into the nonsense, okay? If you can imagine North America about 500 years ago, North America, imagine the people here in North America about 500 years ago. And then all of a sudden, somebody thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away somewhere, they decided for you, somebody you never heard of before, you never seen them before, you don't know their language, they decided, they just kind of show up, they start showing up, and they say, the land that you are on now belongs to them, okay? Now, for y'all who don't know the history of this, in North America, South America, the idea of owning land for the indigenous population was ridiculous. Like it wasn't something that made sense to them. Owning the land is like owning the air. You get me? Or owning the water or something like that, owning rain. How can somebody own the land? However, when Europeans started going out and exploring other lands, right? And they started arriving to North America, explicitly North America, we're talking about here. There is something that the Pope backed and codified, which is known as the Discovery Doctrine. Y'all hearing me? So what is the Discovery Doctrine? Okay. The Discovery Doctrine, which is essentially backed by the Pope, as you mentioned, you can imagine the same Bible that's in existence today as that Bible, okay? It was used as a tool to make these documents in which were enacted that formally allowed people from Europe to come to the West and essentially take land, okay? So imagine this document is written over 500 years ago, okay? And it claimed power to give away land of people who just got there. They just got there. And this happened exactly in 1493. The Discovery Doctrine, Doctrine of Discovery, right? And the Pope was Pope Alexander the Seventh. Okay, y'all can look this up. Okay, Alexander the Seventh in 1493. Okay, and he issued this papal bull, right? Just a year after Christopher Columbus allegedly discovered, India. You remember he called these folks Indians because he thought it was in India. Okay. So now that's why we call it the West Indies up until this day. So why am I getting into all of this history? The reason why I'm getting into all this history is because this is the foundation of what is going on with Ren and Stimpy and them. Okay. Sneako, and you'll see in a minute, Sneako, he openly said that white people built America, it's white man's land, and all this kind of stuff. He don't know the history behind it. He don't care about that. All he cares about is his mobility on social media. And he's willing to say and do anything in order to achieve that mobility. Okay? Andrew Tate, his intentions are more, like you could say, more dark, because he's trying to stay out of jail. And he's going to prison. He is going to prison. Okay. So he conveniently converts when the dicot is closing its walls on him. And we're going to get into that as well. Okay. But I digress. White supremacy in itself, as we mentioned before, is a global system. My day ones, we talk about this all the time, right? It is a global system which is meant for people who classify themselves as white to dominate people who they have classified as black. Okay? And it is codified in legislation, it's codified in economics, it is codified in every aspect of life. Okay? Politics, you name it. Okay? And just like these lands 500 years ago, where the doctrine of discovery has a significant impact on the American legal system up until this very day. This is why, if y'all black folk, the descendants of slaves, this is why you cannot own any significant pieces of land. Not because you are any less intelligent than the owners and controllers of this country, the dominant society, not because of any other reason, but the implied social order in the West, which means it's not so much about owning the land, but rather It is the perception of who this land can be given to. So in the early 1900s, you had the Homestead Act, which Martin Luther King talked about, in which millions and millions and millions of acres of land was just given to white Europeans for free. Not only that, but the same government that was giving these millions of acres of lands to white Europeans in order to change the demographics of this white society that Sneako said was white, mind you. He said this is a white country. Not only that, they funded the educational system for these white European farmers to come to till this land and basically make it workable. But not only that, they gave these farmers, white farmers from Europe, okay, equipment in order to work the land. And they want to turn around and tell black folk to stand up by their bootstraps and stuff. Sneako, who is half Haitian. Okay, Sneako, who is half Haitian. The reason why Haiti is catching the hell that it is today is because of these very same white supremacists that he so vehemently defends all the time. When maybe somebody could put his name in the chat. His name is slipping my mind right now. But essentially, the leader of Haiti during the time of Napoleon, okay, the Haitian Revolution. This was the first successful slave revolution and liberation of slaves in the West, and it struck fear throughout all of the white colonial West, right? In that time. Absolute fear. So Napoleon and the French, with the help with thank you, Trosan. Thank you so much. Thank you. Trosan Louverture. Thank you so much. Okay. So, anyways. With the help of the U.S., they forced Haiti to give at that time billions of dollars of reparations, not to the slaves, not to the oppressed, not to the ones who were stolen from Africa and forced to work in the West, but rather to the slave masters, the French slave masters. And from the money and the wealth that the French usurped from Haiti, they sent the U.S. a gift. Does anybody know what this gift is? Put it in the chat, please, if you know. Where are my day ones at? What is the gift that the French gave the U.S. off of the labor of oppressed Haitians? What is the gift? There hasn't been a voice of revolution in Haiti, except that the U.S. government goes in and makes sure that they cause political assassinations. They cause, whatchamacallit. They destabilize the country. And now we're seeing the destabilization of Haiti today. Okay. Thank you. It's the Statue of Liberty. It's the Statue of Liberty. Thank you, Sister Tika. It's the Statue of Liberty. These folks are the people that Sneako, de facto leader of the manosphere, is saying that built America. They built America. The fact of the matter is Black people built America, and white people, rather the white supremacist power structure, has been doing what that has been doing for the last 500 years, and that is stealing, plundering, robbing, which is why you have the immigration crisis that you have right now, because they plundering in Haiti, they plundering in South America, they plunder. We put out the book, what you call it? We read from the book directly, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. We read from that book directly. All of these covert operations that these white supremacists do all over the world, which cause these refugees to end up in the United States. This is who Sneako is caping for. Just to turn around because of what Donald Trump said, okay, about Haitians eating cats and dogs, and then all of his white zaddies turning on him, turning on Haiti. Now all of a sudden he found out what white supremacy is. Y'all hearing me? These are the folks that have the ears of the Muslim youth because of your YouTubian Da'wah elites. They put the most despicable, disgusting, despisable characters in front of millions of Muslim youth and have these kids who don't know their heads from the buttholes listening to a goddamn Sneako and a freaking Andrew Tate. It's unbelievable. The chinless champion, Andrew Tate, and the pencil head moron, Sneako. Look at Muslim YouTube today. Today we're gonna see, we got time tonight, family. So I hope y'all got time, because we got time tonight. Okay. We're gonna be looking at what some non-Muslims have rightfully and accurately pointed out. And then we're going to look at the reaction of your YouTubian Da'wah elites. All right, family? Just give me a minute, y'all. Let me just pull this up. 1 second. Like, subscribe, share. Hit me up on Patreon, family. And get this. Remember, we're seeing the connection of the discovery doctrine and the way that these guys speak. All of this is connected. All of this is connected. 1 second, family. Let me get my headphones back on. 1 second, y'all. Check. Okay. Did it freeze? Always with the text stuff. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Can y'all hear me? One's in the chat if you're gonna can you hear me, family? Y'all hear me? Excellent. All right. Let's get down to. All right. Okay. Okay. 1 second, y'all. All right. So now we're gonna get into the nonsense. This is what y'all came for, right? So you came for the low hanging fruit, right? Okay, well let's go chase that low hanging fruit then. Y'all came for the nonsense. Let's check the nonsense. Okay, so first we're gonna watch Abba and Preach react. Okay, Abba and Preach, you know, they did everything that I wanted to do, and they put it in a nice short video. Okay, so let's get down to it, family. 1 second, y'all. All right, let's cook.
If you believe that you're superior because you're white, you are Jewish.
All the Muslim grifters are turning on each other. From Andrew to...
What I tell y'all, man. For those who don't know, this is Nick Fuentes, white supremacist. That's Zerka. He's just a degenerate. I don't understand how he's famous or why he's famous. You know, he's just a cokehead degenerate. That's one of Sneako's best friends, whatever. But let's get down to it. Let's cook.
If you believe that you're superior because you're white, you are Jewish.
All the Muslim grifters are turning on each other. From Andrew Tate to Nick Fuentes to everybody else's goofballs associated with. They're all turning on him now that he's trying to defend his home country. This is footage of Sneako talking about the issue now, and then there's footage of him in the past, and the difference is crazy.
Montage.
The reason that they're lying, so comfortable lying about a Christian country, their Christian brothers in Haiti, is because they don't consider them people. They don't consider them brothers at all.
Flashback.
The reason that the earthquake might have happened in Haiti, not the Dominican Republic, is because they practice something called voodoo. They call themselves Christians in Haiti, but at the same time, they practice a voodoo, like an African voodoo version of Christianity.
The next.
That's the proctological irritant named Sneako, family. And then you have all these goddamn YouTubian Da'wah Elites. Well, our brother Sneako. This friggin' idiot he's a schizo or something, man. He's like popped one too many roofies or something. I don't know what the heck. How you go from this to that? You know, these really extreme Christian nationalists, they are the ones who said that Haiti was destroyed because of voodoo and stuff like that. They didn't say it was destroyed because maybe the United States is still enslaving them economically through the help of France. They didn't say none of that. They didn't say that maybe it's being destroyed because they can't build their infrastructure because, you know, they're being robbed left, right, and center by France. They didn't say none of that. Like, these guys are something else, man. And believe me, the hammer is coming down. It is coming down. All of these bones and biscuits and you know, shucking and jiving YouTubian Da'wah Elites who are out there, you know, jiggling Tate's sack and stuff. All of this, the chickens are proverbially coming home to roost, as we rightfully said. Let's keep watching, y'all.
Next morning.
Vast majority of Haitians, if you've ever met and talked to them, they're Christian, they're Catholic. They like will bury period blood and like mix it with hair, put it in the ground. They'll do demonic rituals where people start like vibrating and shaking. You hear a language, sakpase mapule, that you don't understand, and you think these are some of the people like will fuck horses. So maybe that was God punishing this island for practicing witchcraft and trying to conjure the devil in order to get power. So all they say is you should just leave. You should leave America. Leave the country. Bye. We don't like you. This should be a white country. When was this ever a white country? White people created America.
Bro, I literally debated this loser. He was in here supporting Nick Fuentes, who wants a white country. He sucked that dude off. He went into his rallies. He was doing his campaign stuff. He kept supporting him.
Did y'all hear that? Where are you, YouTubian Da'wah Elites now? Just keep watching, fam.
And now he's over here, now that the Haitians are getting some flack, and he's going, well, when has this ever been a white...
White people created America. White people created America. The United States of America is a white country. It was built by white people. It was created by white people.
See what I'm saying?
This is the new non-white supremacist. Sneako. The born again non-white supremacist. And y'all are out here pushing this idiot. So if this idiot can do all this schizophrenic stuff, then what the hell does that make you when you push him? Huh? Inquiring minds want to know. What does that make you when you push this moron? Mike Melzani says Haiti was forced to take a loan for the first 30 million, and 1838 France agreed to reduce the remaining to 60 million to be paid over 30 years. The final payment was made in 1883. Word. Somebody fact check this.
Bro, I hope he just has like multiple personality disorders and he's got a problem.
He's gone full blue pill. He's so based, then we start shitting on Haitians and it's like, whoa, 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 you're a white supremacist.
I went to Haiti 2 months ago.
That is so schizophrenic. That is so schizophrenic, bro. He was out there. You know why he got his tooth punched out? Because he was campaigning for Nick Fuentes. Like, y'all are tripping.
Oh, didn't eat a cat. So from firsthand experience, no cats.
Haiti's not so bad. Well, why don't you go live there, bro? Why don't you go bring Islam to Haiti? You can go be a jihadist in Haiti. Yeah, except they can't read and they eat mud. Fucking based. Now they eat dirt and they swim in an open sewer.
It is what it is. I'm not white. I live here. I know I'm never really gonna, but that's the truth. Stop sucking Hitler off. What are you talking about?
This guy is such a she's an idiot, man. Who follows a moron like this, man? How does he have followers? I don't get it, bro. I really don't get it. Nothing I never heard him say anything like profound ever. It's all this nonsense. Whatever's popping at the time, that's what he's gonna say. That's what he believes. This guy is a retard, man. Let's keep watching, man.
What are you talking about? I've come to realize, and I didn't know this.
So who's sucking off Hitler now? He called Andrew Tate a Jew for being a white supremacist. So what does that make him? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend. If Andrew Tate is a Jew for being a white supremacist. Like, what does that make you? Mind you, Sneako's takes are arguably worse than Andrew Tate's. Because Andrew Tate, he didn't go campaigning for some white dude to be president of the United States, American first, some white supremacist dude. He didn't do that stuff. Andrew Tate, he's a white supremacist too. He is absolutely a white supremacist, yeah. And so is the self-hating Sudani, Myron from Fresh and Fit, who is a self-proclaimed bigot. And all of your YouTubian Da'wah Elites, they can't stop inviting these dudes to their platforms. Like, this is some bonkers stuff, man. Let's keep watching, y'all. Uh-oh. Where are we? What did I click?
They all think they're ratioing each other. They all look stupid.
The reason that the earthquake might have happened in Haiti,
One
and
second.
everywhere he was doing his little pose, like,
I never question his intentions. He's a real racism. It goes back. It doesn't go back to God. It goes back to Hitler.
Was Hitler evil?
Was I've come to realize, and I didn't know this, a lot of people warned me about this, but conservative ideas to a lot of people is just white supremacism. It goes back. It doesn't go back to God. It goes back.
This guy's such an idiot, man. Like, even me, I'm watching him and I can feel my brain cells slipping from my mind. Like, I can feel myself getting dumber watching this. Sorry, man. I was about to say use some choice words. I caught myself. Like, well, I hate watching these guys, man. I hate watching Sneako. I hate watching Tate. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't care, right? But so many of y'all are watching these idiots, and then your YouTubian Da'wah Elites are pushing them. Like, what in the world is happening? What is life, family? Like, this is so retarded, man. Keep watching.
Back to Hitler.
It was Hitler evil.
Was Thomas Jefferson evil? No, I'm not switching sides. Did you think that I was going to be an Uncle Tom in the big house for you whites?
Sneako, if the founding fathers saw you, they would have enslaved you. They'd be like, where is your owner, bro?
Me and Nick are good, man. I've always loved Nick. Nick is a friend of mine. I never question Nick. I never question Nick's capability. I've never questioned his intentions. He's a real he's a real ass nigga. So yeah, me and Nick are good.
I had to watch Sneako over here defend Nick Fuentes when he said he's against interracial marriage, which is the very thing that birthed Sneako in the first place. Sneako wouldn't even exist if Nick Fuentes was in power.
Like, Nick really, if I listened to this whole call, I don't think he said anything that makes you want to cancel him. I think he's a good guy. He's saying, hey, I love everybody. Is he really being that exclusionary?
That's crazy.
Bro,
That
Sneako, that's
Sneako, I'm not even gonna lie. If he had his way and he had, first off, you wouldn't even exist because you're the basis of an interracial marriage. So, but you don't find it kind of crazy that the ideal world that he envisions is one in which you wouldn't exist in?
Sneako, if the founding fathers saw you, they would have enslaved you. They'd be like, where is your owner, bro? Sneako's going woke. It's got to stop. Sneako, we love you. We want you back on Team Red Pill, okay? Me and Zerka, we're dragging your black ass back to Team Red Pill.
Okay, so that's Nick Fuentes. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all something before we continue here. 1 second, family. You see how deep this gets. Now look what's going on here. Okay. For those of y'all who are new to the features, welcome. Welcome, welcome. You are watching the Black Muslim Grassroots. And we pull no punches here. Now watch this, y'all. This right here, this is Daniel Hakikachu tweet, okay? He's responding to some dude, okay? Walaikum salam. If you saw the post behind Andrew and Tristan Tate, my live stream yesterday, and other posts, you can see that I blasted Tommy Robinson and the ETL crowd for the Zionist shows that they are. Did you see those posts? So Tate. Sorry, not Tate. Daniel. He's giving himself a pat on the back for blasting Zionists. Okay? Now watch this, y'all. Do you see those posts? In no way think that anything should be considered a scum like Robinson, Murray, etc. My entire post is specifically regarding right-wing, listen to what he said, right-wing pro-Palestinian voices. Not sure how this conflation with Zionist shows is being made. So according to Daniel Hakikachu, we need to side with right-wing. Who are the right-wing Zionist voices? We're going to get to that. 1 second, y'all. Yeah. Who are the right-wingers? He's saying this. Who collectively have reached millions over the past 10 months with Zionist pro-Palestinian activism. Who are they? Here's a quick list. Number 1, Candace Owens. Candace Owens, white supremacy and blackface. Number 2, Andrew Tate. We already know about Andrew Tate. Tristan Tate. We already know about Tristan Tate. They going to jail. Okay? All right? Keith Woods. We talked about him last time. Jake Shields, the white supremacist in training. Okay? Stu Peters, already a white supremacist. Nick Fuentes, that incel loser. Okay? Daniel Hakikachu says, yeah, listen to him. Like, you can't make this crap up. Nick Fuentes. Lucas Cage. Nick Griffin and Jada Franson and other white nationalists, and he put this out there, that Dilly Hussein from Five Pillars, okay, right, interviewed on his podcast. And we're the ones who are tripping. We are the ones who are tripping. Daniel Hakikachu has this massive platform telling Muslims, yeah, go listen to these white supremacists over here. No problem. But I digress. Let's go back to the nonsense. Okay. Let's go back to this train wreck here. 1 second, Fanny.
I don't watch anymore. I can't watch anymore.
Thank you.
Listen, if Sneako's involved, just know he's wrong. Because we don't even know.
You already said the opposite.
Yes.
You already said the opposite.
I can't take Sneako seriously, bro.
It's like whatever he said, you already said the opposite before. So.
And I watched him. I watched him go from what he was to what he was then to what he became afterwards to version 7.0 now. And it's just like, dude, just go be yourself. And if you don't know what that is, stop asking all your daddies for tips. Stop looking. Dude, this guy used to remember we used to do a fucking cringe Andrew Tate thing where he would stand everywhere and he was doing his little pose. Like, we get it. The reason why people were memeing on you is because every time you spoke in defense of him, you still had his cum all over your face. So nobody was going to take what you said seriously. It's hard. We have evidence that you've been sucking him off. We watched how you were when you went over there to Romania and he barely looked at you and he looked at you, you're a fucking loser. Why? Because real people can recognize how much of a goofball you are. Right? Because they may not know it because they're seeing this version of you now, but they're going to watch the next version of you and they'll be like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? He was someone else just a year ago. Why was he someone?
No, Sneako, that's not what happened. You did not give a fair criticism based on Islam. Firstly, it is not your job in Islam to criticize anybody. That's the first thing. Second thing, you questioned my faith and called me a Jew. So you were responded to in kind. You cannot be a passive-aggressive little girl. I understand you're young.
Did you hear that? Sneako called Andrew Tate a Jew for supporting white supremacists, but the whole time he's supporting white supremacists. So what does that make Sneako then? What does it make Sneako? Somebody make him sense. Like, let me tell y'all something, okay? Because we started off with something serious, right? These guys are all about the discovery doctrine. If white people discover it, it's theirs. And no darker skinned people of the earth have any recourse. You can't come into white lands and immigrate there after we destroy your lands. You're not allowed. According to Tate, according to Sneako, according to Myron. Even what's that twitching twirler chick? Muslim mom. One of the most egregious twitching and twirling. So egregious. She had her, what's her face? What's that white supremacist lady name that nobody wants to deal with except for Muslims. Only Muslims want this Jada Franson on their channel. Nobody else wants Jada Franson except for Muslims. They want to revive her career. Don't make sense. She had Jada Franson out there talking about, immigration. I think immigration is man. Like, what is y'all saying? The original illegal immigrants are the white supremacists. Those are the original white supremacists. The original illegal immigrants. That's the whole point of the discovery doctrine. The whole point of the discovery doctrine is making sure a certain group of people have control of who owns land. You get it? So a handful of white folks can be in South Africa and own all the land. The discovery doctrine is still being played out to this very day. And now, for the first time that I know of in Islamic history, you have Muslims pushing it. Muslims fully invested in their own destruction, which is why we have taken a very clear stance that these leaders and movers and shakers of the Muslim manosphere are not our brothers. Okay, we ain't got nothing to do with them. They ain't got nothing to do with us, other than us refuting them day and night. That's it. But I digress. Just keep watching, y'all.
But if you talk that way to people, you're going to be responded to a certain way. And you do it all the time. It's not just me. It's just who you are. You're very, smarmy, snarky. That's who you are. That's fine. But you deserved it. And you got brutally wrecked because you deserved it. Because you can't call me a Jew. And also, just because you've been Saudi and I've been trapped on house arrest, you don't get to be a better Muslim than me and tell me how the world works either, friend. Right? So, no hard feelings, but you fucking deserved it. Right? If you said it in person, I would have knocked your ass out, and I would have helped you get up afterwards and said, sorry, sir, I had to break your jaw. Sometimes things just have to happen, you know? I know you think you're a tough guy because Strickland couldn't finish you. I'll finish you. Don't worry about that. I'm built different.
Andrew Tate, y'all.
Sneako had a problem with something he said, and Sneako, I think so.
Andrew Tate, the beacon of Muslim masculinity, family. Andrew Tate. All your YouTubian Da'wah Elites are running behind this guy, begging for some of his clout sweat or whatever. Right? That's the dude that they want to teach Muslims how to be a man. That dude. You can't make this crap up. Keep watching.
Said something along the lines of, quoting Andrew Tate, says, white supremacists are totally right. And then Sneako replies, this goes against the core fundamentals of Islam. God did not, in fact, choose any race as supreme. And if you believe so, you're Jewish. Okay.
I did not revent to Islam to try to attract fans from Islamic countries. I did not I did not revert to Islam to use a shield from hate. I did not revert to jump on a bandwagon. That is a grift. I am not a grifter. I keep my faith between God and I. Anthony Joshua, Mike Tyson, Dave Chappelle. Many prominent Muslims are private. Praying in private is showing worship to God. This is true faith. Try to act.
He's putting himself in the same sentence as Mike Tyson, Dave Chappelle, and Anthony Joshua. The big difference is that these guys aren't running around with Man Farouk all over San Diego talking about I'm making dawah and stuff. Okay, they're not doing that. Everybody knows that if you convert, not every convert is going to be the best Muslim. There's levels to Iman. There's levels. Some of them are going to be weak Muslims. Some are going to be, better Muslims. Going to be strong Muslims. There's always levels to Iman. But how is it that folks that habitually leave Islam are now the leaders of dawah? This is not the first time we said this. Sister Iman said Brother B has been talking about her YouTube dawah scene for years, and here it is. You can't hide it anymore. It's unhideable. It is unhideable. The so-called Da'wah Elite seems to have taken a serious right turn. The right turn is finished. It's already finished. These guys have turned so far right and grifted so hard that even non-Muslims are like, you know how many big non-Muslim channels are talking about the Muslim grift, the Muslim grift, the Muslim grift, not just outer and breach. It's not just outer and breach. There's so many of them. The Muslim grift, the Muslim grift, the Muslim grift. And here come the Muslims. Our brother Andrew Tate, our brother Sneako. Man, shut the far up, okay? Like straight up. Y'all are tripping. Let's keep watching, y'all.
Act as Muslim responsible for internet likes is simply a grift. Beware the haram police. They're the biggest snakes of all. Nobody haram policed him.
What he said literally goes against the core fundamentals of being a Muslim. White supremacy is wrong. They're not totally right. It's not totally right to believe in a supreme race. That's everything that we're fighting against. The root of all evil stems from a superior.
You have always fought for white supremacy, Sneako. The only reason why you changed your mind because Trump, talked about Haitians eating cats and stuff. Like, please. Like, this dude is such a flake, man. How is he on social media and this big of a flake? Anyways.
Superiority complex from a race.
I swear to God, Sneako literally changes his opinion the way pancakes are flipped when they're on the stove top. And you know what? Changing is not necessarily a bad thing. No. But judging people from your vantage point while you're changing so much and then condemning people while they haven't made the right decision. Meanwhile, the decision you're making today are going to be different than what you're going to make. Shut the fuck up. You don't know yourself. Stop telling people who they have to be. You need to figure out who you need to be. You need to figure out what your values are, what your morals are, what your social circles, but you got no idea. You ain't got no clue. That's why your friends keep changing, your values keep changing. You're all about judging people and what haram. Meanwhile, you doing drugs and sleeping with hookers. Nobody trying to listen.
Hello. How many times we said this? He'll go out and make dawah with Sheikh Uthman today, and tomorrow he'll be smashing some OnlyFans hole. Like, what are you guys doing to the dawah, Yaki? What do you think this is? Like, Islam for y'all is a joke and something to monetize. That's it. You like, he will literally go today. He'll be on some Islamic something, One Path Network, Sheikh Uthman, whatever, you know, whispering sweet nothings to the Muslims' ears. Oh yeah, well, you know, I love Islam because, you know, Islam is against the liberal left, and, you know, Islam is against the LGBT agenda, blah 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 blah. Tomorrow, he'll be, you know, with some other influencer like Zerka or whatever, with some own, you know, or Fresh and Fit on their channel, with OnlyFans hosts. Those of you who are old school, those of you who are older, have you ever seen anything like this in your life? And where's the gatekeeping? Where's the gatekeeping? That this is crazy. Your YouTubian Da'wah Elites, they're not putting scholars in front of the people. They're not putting Salaam Alaikum in front of the people. You know why? Because it's not profitable. But they want to call themselves Da'is. They want to say, yeah, we're making dawah, and put this kind of nonsense in front of the people. Pardon me, Fanny. Let's watch this next video. Let's watch this next one. Oh, pardon me. Actually, you know what? We're going to do something different. I'm going to show y'all. For those of you my day ones, I want you to see something about Andrew Tate, okay? Now, this one we're going to watch right now is from Murdered by Crayons, right? Murdered by Crayons. He's been following. 1 second. I got to show this, y'all. Nori says, step and fetch it, Islam. Thanks, bro. Exactly. That is perfectly put. This is step and fetch it. This is step and fetch it. For y'all who don't know what step and fetch it is, it's a very old black sitcom in the 1930s. I think 1930s, yeah, I think it's 1930s, right? So back in those days, if you want to get on TV, you have to be cooning, right? This is one of the most outrageous cooning shows called Step and Fetch It. Some of it is funny, but you know, they really painted black people in a terrible light because that's all you could do to get on TV back in those days. That's what these YouTubian Da'wah Elites are. They're Step and Fetch It Muslims. And I'm not talking about one or two. We are talking about the entire YouTube Da'wah scene. The vast majority, like 90% of it, is Step and Fetch It Islam. The voices of the Tulab Alim and the scholars and the ulama have been completely drowned out so folks can follow a Sneako and Andrew Tate. Like, this is crazy. Anyways, watch this, yo. Let me just switch it up here. How's the sound, family? Sound good? Number one's in the chat if the sound is good. Watch this, family. Now, I want you all to see this, okay? Watch this.
What's the difference between indicted and charged? So I'm a bit confused.
So she's asking, what's the difference between indicted and charged based on the Andrew Tate case? Let me just slow it down a little bit. Okay, so go ahead.
So Romania is incredibly confusing situation. So when they go through the process, they raid them, they take them into the police station, and they charge them. But the indictment is a formalization of that charge. It's an indictment is going to formalize the end of the investigation. It says, okay, we're ready to go to trial. Everything is locked up. The investigation is finished. These are the final charges. This is everything. It's finalized. We're going to trial. This is the state saying we're ready to go to trial.
You know, you said that on the second indictment, they're going to be a lot more serious. Surely they'll have enough reasons to keep them in, remand them on the second indictment. Surely.
Well, again, when it comes to preventive measures, right? So you've got the preventive detention, which could be jail time. You've got house arrest, and you have judicial control. One thing that Romania has is you really have to have a significant reason to restrict someone's freedom, because even though most people who hear things like raping a 15-year-old child anally, and you're like, oh yeah, put him in jail. The Romanian Constitution, they're protected by rights there. They're the accused, and they're given the presumption of innocence. So Romania has to balance their freedom because they haven't been convicted yet. So they have to balance their freedom while at the same time saying, okay, well, we have to stop these guys from committing more crimes or from fleeing the country, etc. Because they catch them, right? They catch them while they were under a previous preventive measure from the first case. They caught them trying to influence statements by trying to bribe them and intimidate them to not cooperating with the police. They caught them trying to bribe politicians. They caught them trying to launder more money. So they continue to commit crimes, but it's not enough to put them back in jail. So I don't see a scenario unless they really screw up to where they would go back in jail.
I think they're going to flee. I really think they're going to flee. I really cannot see them sticking around to when they're presented with the second indictment and everything's out in the public, especially if that rape thing. They're going to flee. They're not going to hang around.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I would flee. I think anyone in here, if you have the means and you're facing 20 to 30 years in a Romanian prison, and you have the means to run, knowing that you committed the crimes. I mean, here's the thing, especially when it comes to children. And I don't know how they do it in Romania, but in most Western countries, people who are convicted of hurting children don't do very well.
Hey, listen to this.
So if he's convicted of this with the 15-year-old for what he did to her, I can't imagine that's gonna you know what I mean? Yeah,
he's fucked. He's
proper fucked.
He's fucked.
Yeah, he's proper fucked. And I can read this to you here regarding why they thought or why they didn't go back to jail. So let me read this quote here. It says, without denying, therefore, the concrete gravity of the alleged crimes as shown in the previous arguments, the judge notes first that the criminal group was dismantled by prosecutors in December 29th, 2022. What that means is, and we've been saying this the entire time based on information that we've had, the evidence that we've seen.
I want y'all to check the date, December 29th, 2022. Okay, this is the meat where I want y'all to listen to.
These guys were fully involved in all of this until they were finally arrested in December 2022. They didn't quit making pornography. That never ended. They were forced to quit.
Did y'all hear that? Let me rewind it one more again so you know I'm not capping.
I don't know how they do it in Romania, but in most Western countries, people who are convicted of hurting children don't do very well in prison. So if he's convicted of this with the 15-year-old for what he did to her, I can't imagine that's gonna you know what I mean? Yeah,
he's fucked. He's
proper fucked.
He's fucked.
Yeah, he's proper fucked. And I can read this to you here regarding why they thought or why they didn't go back to jail. So let me read this quote here. It says, without denying, therefore, the concrete gravity of the alleged crimes as shown in the previous arguments, the judge notes first that the criminal group was dismantled by prosecutors in December 29th, 2022. What that means is, and we've been saying this the entire time based on information that we've had and the evidence that we've seen, these guys were fully involved in all of this until they were finally arrested in December 2022. They didn't quit making pornography. That never ended. They were forced to quit.
I said this.
Yeah, they were forced to quit.
Yeah, I said this.
Yeah.
How many times have I said?
They were forced to quit in December of 2022. You know what that means, family? Do you know what that means? Where are my intelligent black folk at? Where are my intelligent brothers and sisters at? What does it mean that they were fully involved in making pornography and OnlyFans and human trafficking all the way up into December 2022? What does that mean? What does that mean? They were forced to stop because they got arrested. meaning they would not have stopped if they did not get arrested. But what are we implying here? What are we implying here? Josh says, well, I guess that's the problem. He's being platformed by people seen as Shayuk and Islamic authorities and stuff, and endorsement despite his content being complete garbage, and that garbage was being produced even after his shahada. You get it? He became Muslim and he was still doing the same stuff. Which also means there's no doubt that the people that are defending him knew that what he was doing. They knew. And they still defended him. You know, there's a certain individual named Donald Trump who defends Epstein, correct? Now, why do you think he's defending Epstein? Why do you think he's defending Epstein? Why? Inquiring minds need to know. Do you know any folks that have visited Andrew Tate at his house before 2022? That's exactly it, because he's one of them. Abu Aramaya says because he's one of them. That's exactly it. What is this unfettered, unbridled, unchallenged defense of Andrew Tate without even looking at the facts? You know, when Andrew Tate first got arrested, what did we say? We say, well, let's wait till the facts come out. Just be patient. Wait, let's wait till the facts come out. But you know, there was a certain YouTubian Da'wah Elite that had some stuff to say about Andrew Tate's arrest. Y'all want to see what he said? Watch this, yo.
I think that Andrew Tate's involvement with pornography is reprehensible, no doubt about it. But I also think that he is innocent of these recent accusations against him. 3 reasons why. Number 1, innocent until proven guilty.
I've committed multiple felonies.
Number 2, the Matrix has been trying to silence brother Andrew at all costs.
You can ignore laws. Laws don't apply to me.
Number 3, why are these accusations coming out now for something that allegedly happened many years ago?
The last 2 to 3 years I've been making money on OnlyFans from its inception all the way up till now. I'm currently filming this during the COVID pandemic. That you may be watching this later on, but right now I'm taking over.
I think that Andrew Tate's involvement
this is what we're dealing with, fam.
Reprehensible, no doubt about it. But I also
this is what we're dealing with. These are the people that are leading the Da'wah today. Ten years ago, they would be nobodies. There'll be absolutely nobodies. But in 2024, all you need to do is know how to navigate the algorithm, and you can be a YouTubian Da'wah Elite too. Now, for me, I'm so tired of dealing with these guys' family. Like, let me look at my channel real quick. I'm gonna show y'all something, man. Right? This is like real, okay? The last few lives I did, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of the last 15 lives that I did were about these idiots. All these YouTubians, bro. Right? Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, Sneako, friggin' all these Twitching and twerkers for Zaddy, man. Candace Owens, Daniel Hakikachu. We're not talking about this. Like, this stuff is like, you know, my wife gets mad. She gets mad at me. She's getting really mad at me for talking about these guys. She gets so mad. All right. And I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to talk about them. This, you know, like the only reason we talking about it is because we have to talk about them. Nobody else is doing this. Go throughout YouTube right now and try to find the channel that is doing this. That is a Muslim channel. Go find it. You can't find it. That's the only reason why we're doing it. We're stuck doing it because nobody else want to do it. And on top of that, it directly affects Black Muslims because all these guys are calling to white supremacy. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. From Daniel Kikachu. Now you got these new alt-writers like what's his face? Muhammad Hijab, Ali Dawah, all these YouTubians, big YouTubians, especially Eddie from the Dean Show. Eddie from the Dean Show, if you go to his Twitter right now, his X is all MAGA. Twitching and twirling for Donald Trump, you know, claiming his love and allegiance to Andrew Tate and his proclaiming his innocence to the whole world. Eddie from the Dean Show. He had a great comment. Even T.D. Jakes was smart enough to stop associating with PDD after he was investigated. Muslim do watch at least be this smart. Well, here's the thing, CL. Your YouTubian Da'wah Elites, 4 years after the fact, have slowly started distancing themselves from Andrew Tate. Surprise, surprise. A surprise. Like, we didn't see that coming. It's shocking. You mean they're distancing themselves from Andrew Tate? Like, come on, y'all. Come on. This is total insanity. The link's in the chat, family. We're opening it up now. Like, subscribe, share, family. Like, as we mentioned before, we do this for y'all. Okay? So you can support with the Buy Me a Coffee, you support with the PayPal, you can support with the Patreon or the Super Chats and whatnot. You know? And we got time tonight. We can go in tonight. There's one other video I want to show, right? So y'all seen that if Andrew Tate was pimping and human trafficking and making videos all the way up to the time, and the only reason why he stopped was because he was arrested. That means he was doing that stuff while he converted. Which is what we said before. Before all of this. That for sure his ties with the Middle East has to do with his prostitution ring. That's why they love him over there. And now you got all these non-Muslims talking about the Muslim grift, all these people suddenly becoming the Muslim grift. And all of these, you know, brownies pretending to be dyes and stuff. These folks just fell off the boat, that rubber boat yesterday from Pakistan or Bangladesh, whatever they came from, right? Begging what you would call it, Andrew Tate and Sneako, and like this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And Andrew Tate, what did Andrew Tate say about these Pakistanis and stuff like the Pakistanis and the Bengalis? After these guys went and threw themselves at him. Oh, please, Zaddy, can I get some love? You know, what do you say about the Bengalis and the Pakistanis after all of that twitching and twirling and twerking? Shameless, absolutely shameless. But anyways. One second, let's get into another video. This video I have not seen actually. Right, this one from O'Shea. The link's in the chat if you want to hop in. Who we got here? CL. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What you got for us, bro?
I want to address someone I've been chatting with in the chat, A. Ali. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. He's been putting forth this thing about not exposing people's personal sins.
Personal sins? Whose personal sins?
Oh, people's sins. I put the word personal on it. People's sins, not exposing people's sins. I put the word personal on it. And this is the problem with the Muslims. This is the problem. The Muslims are, for the most part, the Muslims suffer from the same things that non-Muslims suffer from. Mm-hmm. Low information. Muslims are, for the most part, low information people. You don't understand. You're on social media and you don't understand how social media works. Mm-hmm. Which just makes you prey. It makes you someone who's easily manipulated. Which is
was he saying that to defend Sneako and Tate and stuff?
Yeah, he was basically saying that we shouldn't be you should advise them, find Sneako and advise them.
Okay, family, I want y'all to understand something, okay? All right? There's no hustle done here. Hustle done is not applied to this. When somebody is sinning publicly, that's not exposing their sins. What does hustle done have to do with this in this particular situation? If I sin, for example, if I got a little side piece, but I'm hiding it, okay? Right? I'm trying my best to hide it. I don't want to make it public or whatever sin it is, right? And then you just find out somehow. You look at my phone, you see some text or whatever. Exposing the sin will you be releasing that text to the public. That's exposing the sin. But when Sneako goes on live camera, okay? When he goes on live camera in a hot tub with FoozyTube, with OnlyFans hosts. And he does it on camera with hundreds of thousands of people watching.
Can I use?
How am I exposing his sins now? How is that exposing his sins? What it is, this is what it is, okay? The immigrant Muslims, they have a severe inferiority complex, which makes them want to be in close proximity to white folks. Okay? So what they do, because they have this inferiority complex, they will do anything to defend anybody that they can relate to that's not them, especially white people and especially white converts, right? They will defend that tooth and nail. So now they're applying principles and it's like they don't have nothing to do with what they're talking about. There's no husna done here. There's no exposing the sins here because the sin was already done publicly. Exposing the sins means something that you did privately and now you're exposing it. That's exposing the sins. Brother Josh.
Salaam Alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, the legend himself. What you going on, bro?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment about that personal sins thing. It's totally contradictory. I mean, it's it goes against the whole idea of fisk. You know, these people are literally fasiqeen. They're openly sinning, even after converting. So you're not exposing. They've already exposed their sins. You're just highlighting what they've already done. So, and then you know, as far as directly advising them or whatever, I mean, you know, people have done that on the lives. You know, when Sneako did the whole Crisis King stuff. And, you know, initially the YouTubians kind of went at them and said, no, that's not proper to do. You know, he was initially combative to that. And until they, you know, eventually relented and kind of, you know, Crisis King, you know, you kind of have a point. And then kind of hop on the bandwagon.
So, you know what I'm saying? You change the entire religion now. The whole religion has to change to accommodate Sneako. Not Sneako changing to follow the religion. No, we will change the actual deen now, the aqidah of the Muslims, right? And make aqidah, you know, basically part and parcel with actual shirk. Okay, this is actual shirk, and we'll say Christ is king, Ali Dawah. That is actual shirk. Y'all hearing me? Let's watch this video, family, and then we're going to react to it all together, all right? Let me just pull this up, okay? This is going to be O'Shea. I haven't seen this yet, all right? So he's talking about...
Duke Jackson.
Yeah. 1 second, family. Pull this up. All right.
It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. As you guys know, there is a dusty beef going on right now between the no talent and the red pill. There are 3 of them that we are going to talk about right now. And there is Sneako the grifter. Now, Sneako is a anti-black hater. He's part Haitian, actually, not that much, but part of it.
What did O'Shea call him? He called him an anti-black hater, right?
Right.
So why are these Muslims talking about Sneako is against white supremacy? Like, what is y'all talking about today? You know how many videos I see, videos and posts of Sneako fights against white supremacy? You know how many videos I've seen like this? Muslims are saying this.
It was just a complete pivot to, you know, what the tone was before the criticism against Haiti.
Yeah.
That's really when it all kind of started.
He's more Asian than anything. And he's a guy that got kicked off of YouTube. Very similar to Andrew Tate. But with Sneako, he was pretty much on Andrew Tate's testicles. Okay, he would do anything that Andrew Tate wanted. He's basically trying to be Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate became Muslim, he became Muslim. If Andrew Tate would have become a booty clapper, he would have enrolled at Clap House University and got his cheeks clapped. Whatever Andrew Tate would have did, he would have did. But now the thing that I want to talk to you about these guys is that in these manosphere spaces, and I've been through this situation before in the black manosphere, these guys come together based on their dislike for things. They don't come together to do anything positive. And this was the issue that happened in the black manosphere community. When we were coming together, it was because we were upset at how things were in the community as black men, and black men didn't have a voice, and we needed to vent our frustration. It was nothing more than that at first. Then once some people tried to do different things, it just didn't correlate, and then guys started fighting. Okay, this is the same thing that happened with us. We went to war with Crystal and Karazin for a while. Once we won that, then we started fighting each other. Why? No real direction. And you're gonna see this is the case with these guys. Now, Sneako, Andrew Tate, Myron, all of these guys are anti-Israel, anti-black, anti-LGBTQ, anti-liberal. Okay, they're all red pill ragers, so they shouldn't have any reason to fight, but they do. Check this out.
I have to point out the obvious. There's clearly been some sort of anger, some sort of jealousy, or perhaps some sort of emotional attachment to whatever, because I have been publicly defending Andrew Tate. Everybody has seen it relentlessly for years, to the point where it was a meme, where I was taking hits on my own reputation, to where people were making fun, oh, you're glazing, taco, all this stuff. When they were in jail, do you know the amount of people that I had to debate, the amount of people that I had to go against defending your case? Never heard a word of thanks, never heard a word of consolation. That's fine. The truth is more important. I don't need to get approval. I don't care. if there's something incorrect happening to one of my brothers, I'm going to go and speak up for them. But very clear, what everybody sees, you have not acknowledged any of that. You've never said a word of anything positive. The first time you speak about me is negative and trying to tear down what I've brought, to try to tear down my career. In fact, you said that you were going to end my career, that you want to end everything that I've built. That's the first acknowledgement. From the person, probably the most famous person in my generation by far, who's the day one when you got locked up. It was me. You're innocent. This is incorrect. This is unjust. The only one. In fact, I think I deserve credit for helping your reputation with Gen Z. Who else was really saying this? I mean, I love Aiden, and I think you've been disrespectful to Aiden as well, but a lot of people were quiet. A lot of people didn't say a word because they didn't want to risk the reputation in case that you were actually guilty. But I was there. And then the first time you say anything is, you're gay, I stopped talking to you for a reason. People see through this. People see through this. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother my community, the audience, but people are going to see through this, and it's going to damage your reputation as the beacon of truth, the beacon of masculinity. You're like, what?
For those who don't know, I mean, this is kind of like a side point, but the reason why people are saying Sneako is zesty is because of things that he did. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no clue.
All right, so
I'm
basically,
not sure if I want to know.
yeah, I mean, it's just like it's just gonna come up anyways. It's gonna come up, right? So people are calling him zesty because he did this thing with his girlfriend where he went to this swingers party.
I heard about that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's pretty famous all over YouTube, right? So. I'm not going to get into details, but if something happened and the thing that happened, it is kind of zesty, right? So, but yeah.
A little bit more than, a little zesty, yeah.
All right, let's keep watching, y'all.
Wait, what about brotherhood? What about loyalty? What about truth? What did Sneako even say to make you this upset? What did Sneako say to trigger you to diss him publicly and then make a whole stream correcting him and threatening to, saying you want to fight, saying you want to end my career, to be boastful and prideful? In fact, the arrogance that everybody is seeing from this is proof that maybe people are going to start looking in different directions. If you want to keep the brand of Top G, you cannot hold on to this arrogance and pride that you so clearly have. And I'm not saying this is disrespect, but it's become evident to a lot of people. Because real masculinity is not being boastful. Real masculinity is not being prideful. Real masculinity is not flashiness and cars and look how strong and rich I am. Money does not make your masculinity. In fact, it's the opposite. Being humble.
These guys, that's all they think masculinity is. Like that is like a very, very, very schizophrenic hard pivot. Like what in the world? Like when did this happen?
This is coming from Sneako. Like he focuses on making money most of the time on his streams.
Yeah.
Now he's talking about not focusing on it, but being humble. Like
he has never been humble a day in his life. Anyways, let's keep watching, y'all.
Being respectful, being generous, being kind. All these attributes that you don't really speak about it. You do touch on them sometimes, but that's what really makes a real man. Respect, truth, kindness, generosity, this stuff. Not flashy, strong, shirt off, all this. I get that it's provocative for the stream and it brings people in. And one thing I hear you say all the time, Andrew, is that young people need an action movie star to look up to. I need to be the top G. I'm a symbol for the young generation with this. But what they also need is somebody to look up to who's not arrogant, who's not prideful about this, who's willing to admit when they're wrong.
Then let's go to your boy Andrew Tate, who's being called out by his boyfriend Sneako.
No, Sneako, that's not what happened. You did not give a fair criticism based on Islam. Firstly, it is not your job in Islam to criticize anybody. That's the first thing. Second thing, you questioned my faith and called me a Jew. So you were responded to in kind. You cannot be a passive-aggressive little girl. I understand you're young. But if you talk that way to people, you're going to be responded to a certain way. And you do it all the time. It's not just me. It's just who you are. You're very, like, smarmy, snarky. That's who you are. That's fine. But you deserved it. And you got brutally wrecked because you deserved it. Because you can't call me a Jew. And also, just because you've been Saudi and I've been trapped on house arrest, you don't get to be a better Muslim than me and tell me how the world works either, friend. Right? So, no hard feelings, but you fucking deserved it. Right? If you said it in person, I would have knocked your ass out, and I would have helped you get up afterwards and said, sorry, so I had to break your jaw. Sometimes things just have to happen, you know? I know you think you're a tough guy because Strickland couldn't finish you. I'll finish you. Don't worry about that. I'm built different.
And then last but not least, here's Myron.
Obviously, I'm friends with both guys. I like both guys a lot. They're good friends of mine. Both stand-up men. I am going to try to talk to them behind the scenes because I think that we're stronger together than we are apart. You know, there's really no reason for them to be arguing. I mean, they exercise the same deen. I think maybe it's just a misunderstanding. And I'm just going to talk to them on the side, man, both of them, and hopefully we can iron this thing out because I think we all stand for the same values, you know, freedom of speech, loving our country. Obviously positive masculinity.
My brain.
Protecting and providing for women, right? Not being a piece of shit scumbag, not being a loser, right? Being going to the gym, taking care of yourself. We all have the same values, man. So there shouldn't be any
This is the poster child for a sellout in every way. He sells out the Muslims. He sells out black folk. He sells out Africans. His entire existence is selling out. This Myron is going on white supremacist platforms on X and getting kicked out. And he has nothing to say about the white supremacists. But he has some of the most horrific things to say about black people, like things that, quite creative the way that, and Muslims are platforming this. Muslims keeping his career alive, right? But me personally, I believe will lie. I think that if Muslims did not platform these guys, they would have been gone already. That's what I believe. I believe they would not survive without the support of Muslims, right? Fresh and fit, they were on their way out. They're on their way out. That's why they're this idiot, what you would call it, Amru Fuddle, also known as Myron Gaines, right? Is in right wing spaces. You get me? But anyways, this is like every time I see these guys, man, it's just totally cringe, and I'm totally shocked the amount of Muslim support this nonsense, man. Anyways,
fighting, right? We already get attacked enough by all these people on the internet that sit there and say, "Oh, look at these toxic alpha males." We already get attacked enough by these weirdos, man. So the last thing we need is infighting, because that's what they want. That's exactly what they want is infighting. So I'm going to talk to them on the side, man, and try to quell this. I don't think it's that serious. I don't think Andrew or Sneako hate each other. I think maybe there's just a slight disagreement, and we can quickly fix this up, because both guys are upstanding, great individuals. I know both personally, talk to both personally, so we can come to a peaceful resolution here. So I'm definitely gonna reach out, because I don't like seeing my friends fight at all, especially when we get persecuted enough by all the other normies out there that got something negative to say about us and always got something smart to say.
Of all people, the guy who has ruined his life, his career, income, you have this no-talented grifter who now wants to play, what do you want to call it, a role model? He wants to be a guy that comes in and he wants to smooth things out. He wants to be the guy that comes in and, hey guys, we all need to squash the beef. Let's listen to this crap. So look at Myron. He wants to be the guy who is, he wants to smooth everything out. Give him a round of applause. That's great, because all of them, as he puts it, we all have the same ideas. We have the same goals. So we shouldn't have any reason to argue, except for all of you are beta males, really, right? And the reality is, you're in this for the wrong reason. Guys, we think it's your boy, Jackson, back again with another episode of.
Yeah, so that was O'Shea. And he's pretty much saying the same thing, man. These guys are like no talent grifters. But of course, you have your very large Muslim immigrant diaspora that's pushing this stuff. It's just crazy. It's absolutely insane, man. But go ahead. I'll let y'all have the floor. Go ahead, hop in here.
These guys.
Go ahead, CL.
Yeah, these guys. First of all, they're no different than the females on social media. So the females on social media, what are they doing? Dancing and exposing themselves, using their sexuality to get attention and make money. These guys obviously can't do that. So what they're just debasing themselves and humiliating themselves for attention and money. That's the economy of social media. That's how you get money on social. That's how you get a following and get money on social media, by being willing to embarrass your family and embarrass yourself and debase yourself. This is all what they're doing. That's how social media works. It's designed to work that way. That's what I was saying earlier about how Muslims are on social media and they don't even know how social media works. And they don't even know they're being manipulated by the algorithm. That's why you got dudes on here. You got dudes who've come during this video getting all upset and emotional because you said something about Sneako. Like, what? Like, what? What? Where do you do that at? Why are you so emotionally wrapped up in Sneako and Tate? Why does it hurt your emotions if somebody says something critical about them. Like, stop and think about it for a second.
Family, we got Sister Tika with the super chat. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you and reward you and multiply for you 1,000,000-fold. And she says, real sheikhs don't even like being called sheikhs, and y'all busy following self-praising fools. Stop it. I got time today. Oh man, that is some real stuff right there, bro. That's some real stuff, man. Like, and that's a fact, man. I know on the Monday we'll never say, oh no, I'm just a Taliban, just here are these guys coming out, talking about how masculine they are and all this kind of stuff. It's just weird, man. It's weird, and I don't know. What you got for us, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame that it's these non-Muslim channels that can easily see the the contradictions and the clear grifting that these people are doing, and it's obvious. Anybody can see it. And you have a huge rise and wave of anti-Islamic channels now just popping up, highlighting some of this stuff, and then pointing to the endorsements that people like YouTube Sheikh Uthman, say, saying that they're on Quran and Sunnah.
You are not fit for this game.
So, but Muslims are saying, no, have husn al-dhan for your brother, advise him.
There's no husn al-dhan in this case. Not here.
It's like this. It's like this defiant, gullible stupidity that just entirely mind-boggling. You don't really see it anywhere. But another thing that really applies to Sneako and Tate. It's like these two are tragic mulattoes. And I can see it as a reformed tragic mulatto myself. You kind of go through that phase of confusion with your identity, and the problem with Muslims, they don't have a good understanding when they meet people like Sneako and Tate, and they don't see them as black. They see them as racially ambiguous. And Muslims, the general population of them, they have those racist tendencies, and I think they kind of they really feed into some of the the internal conflicts people like Sneako and Tate are having with their own identity, and they can easily buy into that those white supremacist notions of being more white adjacent than not. It just ends up getting worse until they get reminded, like Sneako did recently, that he is Haitian. And
it turned into Oprah and the manosphere, man. Everybody's getting a Negro wake-up call. You're getting a Negro wake-up call, and you're getting you're all getting Negro wake-up calls.
Right. Exactly.
It shows you just how much of grifters these people are, because when they were making jokes about George Floyd, and they're making jokes about KKK and at the expense of Black Americans, it was get over yourself. Stop whining, stop complaining. Now Trump gets on TV and says Haitians eat cats and dogs. All of a sudden, Sneako is he's going to turn himself into Malcolm X. Now he's getting online. He's going to correct the public about the Haitian people. He's going to stand up for the Haitian people all of a sudden. These guys, man. Another thing, when I see these guys, the thing that comes to my mind is, where's your daddy at? Where's Sneako's daddy at? Where's his daddy? Where's his uncles at? Where's his granddaddy at? Because
Sneako's dad is one of those those really light-skinned Haitians. Yeah, so he's definitely from the upper echelon there in Haiti.
I think Sneako's a quadroon. Like his dad looks mixed himself. So
yeah, right. So he's not like us. He's not one of us. You get me? Right? He's in black culture, like every other person who's not black is in black culture. You know, they're visiting, but they're not really about it like that. And they like the music, they like the clothes, they like the lingo and the slang and the you know the swag of it.
Not even from the standpoint of being black, just the standpoint of being a father and masculinity. If you saw your son, if you walk past your son's room and he's online saying and acting this way, I'm going to walk in and knock over the microphone and snatch down the camera and say, "Go get a job. What are you doing?" Like, but see, this is
but here's
a different
thing.
generation.
Here's
Maybe I don't understand. It's a different generation. I don't get it.
You know, we saw all these. Well, we saw basically 3 non-Muslim channels. You want to see what a Muslim channel is saying? You want to see one? We got time. You want to see what the Muslims are saying? Should we put it out there? Should we put it out there? Let me try to find one. Let me try to find one, family. 1 second, y'all. Like, this is crazy, man. It's like night and day.
From what I saw, they were praising Sneako. You know,
The general
praising Sneako. You know,
the general consensus is Muslims are supporting Sneako, and they see him as some kind of sincere person striving for the betterment of his Islam. I don't see that at all, but I don't know.
Yeah, which to the general public makes Muslims look stupid and immoral.
Yes, 100%, 100%, 100%. When you start, defending like degenerates like this, just because they took shahada, so you basically gave them the green light to be involved in all kinds of degeneracy, without correcting them, without advising them or nothing like that, just because they took shahada, because you need that clout. Right, so let me try to find one here.
Yeah, the ultimate winner is Google.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, even like let's be real, man. Right? We talking about these morons because it's good for the algorithm. Right, I'm tired of it. Like I'm just so tired of it. You know, it's like getting all the bad effects of smoking weed without actually smoking weed. Okay, you're not getting high, right? You're not getting any other benefit except for losing brain cells talking about these idiots, man. Right? But that's what it is, man.
I would like to have been in that Google team meeting when somebody came up with the idea that we can get millions of Muslims. We can herd millions of Muslims into the algorithm if we promote some of this stuff.
Yeah. Like this is totally crazy, man. Let me try to find something near family. Let's see. One second.
It's ultimately it's a statement that the Muslims are making online, that content with actual scholars, content about learning Arabic, content about memorizing Quran, content about whatever this is actually Islamic. They don't want it because that's what you're ultimately saying. You don't want that.
They don't, and that's a fact, right? And like I said, this is something that's new, right, with the Muslims, because it wouldn't happen a decade. I don't think it would even happen 5 years ago, right? And all this kind of stuff kind of started rising up during COVID times, right? Yeah. That's when you started seeing the shift, right? So
yeah, the stuff you saw on YouTube in the 2000s, for example, it was mostly lectures and Tulab al-Ilm, giving classes, all the tapes that people would have of the scholars and people giving the translations of those. Going over the explanations of usul al-fiqh and that kind of stuff. That stuff is totally overshadowed now by, the Muslim influencer drama. So if you do any kind of search now on Islam, and this is really the crux of the problem. If you do a search of Muslim Islam now, that stuff comes up and that gets the bulk.
That's the first thing you're going to see.
Right.
That's the first thing you're going to see. You're not going to see any scholars. You're not going to see any Tulabalim. You're not going to see any, the only thing you might get is if you type in Quran specifically, then you might get some Quran, but that's it.
You'll have to specifically type out, fatwa by Talib al-Ilm to get something other than that, something keyword specific.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to get hijab's reaction to, Matt Walsh's views on whatever, or, endorsement of, whatever Daily Wire, Candace Owens, etc., who's a big object of admiration now by the YouTubians.
Candace Owens is a scholar now.
she's like a source of authority of Islamic opinion now amongst the YouTubians.
She's giving fatwa for us now, man.
She's giving the fatwa on Palestine.
Okay, let's watch this, y'all. All right, we'll watch this, a few minutes of this, and then we'll close it out on second family. All right, so this is what the Muslims saying. Okay, I'm not making this up. 1 second here.
Just real quick, isn't it crazy that Hakikachu warned against? Go ahead, play the video. I'll come back to that point.
All right, no worries. Let's play this out.
When is a black man a white supremacist? When he's Andrew Tate, of course. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Recently, there's been a massive feud online between our brother Sneako and Andrew Tate. Now, notice I didn't say our brother Andrew Tate, and I said our brother Sneako. Now, I've made my views clear in a few videos about Andrew Tate and how I view him. And normally, I wouldn't speak about Andrew Tate. The only reason I'm going to speak about this feud, because this highlights an important concept, a unique concept, that all other religions, all other ideologies like capitalism, secularism, and liberalism, they've had so much trouble dealing with this issue. And this issue is so unique to Islam that if I were to prove Islam to you, even if I don't speak to you about the Quran, the truthfulness of the Quran, how the Quran remains unchanged, how it's a miracle, the truthfulness of the Prophet ﷺ, if I just take this issue in our modern age and I look at this issue, it proves by itself the miraculousness and the truth of Islam compared to all other religions and compared to all other ideologies. Now, what is this issue? What is this concept? I'm going to get to that, inshallah, but I'm just going to give a bit of background. Now, how did this whole issue between Andrew Tate and Sneako really start? If you've been following social media, you know in the last few years in the West, there's been a lot of discussions about what's happening to the white race, what's happening to the white people in these Western countries. That over the last 30, 40 years, they've been swamped by all this immigration. They were generous to allow all these.
Ain't nothing happening to white people, okay? Nothing happening to white people. They just worried about their demographics being drowned out. That's it. Okay, but I just put that out there. Let's keep watching, okay? Mind you, white people all across the world are immigrants wherever they are, whether it's America, Australia, New Zealand. They're the immigrants. But they're complaining about, even here in Canada, right? But they're complaining about they're the original illegal immigrants. Okay, but they're complaining about illegal immigrants. What is happening, man? Let's keep watching, y'all.
These are people from the third world countries into their lands, but now they're being swamped. Their race is being destroyed. And these people, they're barbaric, they're backward, they're bringing all their culture, and it's destroying white culture.
Nobody's destroying no white culture, no white anything. What is he talking about? Okay, anyways, let's keep watching you.
This has been a big narrative, and the voices are getting louder and louder of white nationalism, white supremacism. And in the UK, we saw the UK riots, and that was all sparked by the tragic, horrific killing of stabbing of some young girls by what was a black Christian teenager who grew up in the UK, but his parents were from Rwanda. That sparked the UK riots. They blamed it on Islam and Muslims, and they went into Islamic neighborhoods and they started attacking Muslims, and that went on for a while. It was an enormous incident. These UK riots, racist riots against Muslims, were sparked by voices online. Prominent people like Tommy Robinson.
Let me ask y'all a question. Can you be racist against a Muslim? Is that possible? Is it possible to be racist against a Muslim? Or let me ask you a different question. What race is a Muslim? What race is a Muslim? Inquiring minds need to know. How can I know what race a Muslim is? It's not possible to be racist against a Muslim. But now what's happening, especially within the last 5-10 years, Muslims for the first time are equating Islam with a race. They're equating Islam with racism. They're not making Islam the religion of the truth anymore. You get me? Anybody can be a Muslim. It doesn't make a difference what race you are. So what is this racism against Muslims? Because inquiring minds needs to know, right? Muslims can be racist. It's like me saying I'm racist against Christians or something like that. Can you be racist against a Christian?
Did this
what race
guy
are Christians?
I must have missed it. Did this guy say that?
Yeah. he said they're being racist against Muslims.
It's kind of funny that he said that because, you know, that kind of talk is like, that's the push towards making Islam more cultural, like a cultural identity.
Yeah.
Kind of like what the Jews did. And that's more of a liberal type of thing. So it's kind of funny.
That ship has already sailed.
Indeed.
Listen what he said. Listen what he said. I slowed it down for you.
UK rights. They blamed it on Islam and Muslims, and they went into Islamic neighborhoods and they started attacking Muslims, and that went on for a while. It was, it was an enormous incident. These UK riots, racist riots against Muslims, were sparked by voices online. Prominent people like Tommy Robinson, Nigel Farage, white supremacists, and surprisingly, a black Muslim, Andrew Tate, who was standing up for the white supremacists and tweeting out all this information about immigrants and about Muslims, all false information, that directly sparked these riots to occur. Now, and more recently, if you've been following events in the US, again, rumors about Haitian people, Haitian immigrants into America, I think it's in Springfield, Ohio, I don't know if it's a county or a suburb, whatever it is, but the rumors have started gathering steam that the Haitian immigrants are eating the pets of their neighbors. They're eating the cats and dogs of their neighbors. And this rumor became so immense that even during the presidential debate, it was mentioned by Trump himself.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there.
So naturally, after this rumor, and after the presidential debate, this issue became such a massive issue. And again, all the white supremacist voices like Nick Fuentes, Matt Wallace, and many others on social media, they came out tweeting all this false information and speaking about this issue again. Look at these black people.
You see what I'm saying? He just said our brother Sneako, and Sneako's best friends with Nick Fuentes. What is happening here? What is going on here? What am I watching? This is what the Muslims are saying. Like, how do you know that Sneako and Nick Fuentes are not? Like, what is life? Oh my gosh, man! You see the contrast? Go ahead, bro. What were you saying?
I said, take note of the hypocrisy also.
Yeah.
Because weren't these just when George Floyd got killed? Weren't some of these same people saying the opposite of what they're saying right now?
Daniel Hakikachu.
White. They
didn't even. Abdullah
Yes. They wouldn't even acknowledge white supremacy existed.
Yeah.
They said it didn't exist.
As a matter of fact, you're correct. Yeah. Yep, you are right. I remember Abdullah Andalusi, he did a 3-hour lecture how CRT is Marxism.
Yes. Still up? It's still up.
It's still up there. It's still up there. So I don't get it, man. Like, this is insane. Let some non-Muslims see this today. Like, once my non-Muslims started coming into these spaces and making videos on these guys, it's over for these dudes, man. Right? And this is crazy. Like, how do you make a gaffe like that?
I'm starting to think these people like Sneako because they see themselves in Sneako.
Yeah, of course they do, because he's racially ambiguous. He looks like them, Sneako and Tate. He looks like he could be one of them. They both look at and that, and that is the image that they want to have for themselves. The people who attract women and whatnot, you know what I mean? They have this inferiority complex, right? But the one thing that they're okay with anti-black racism. All of them.
Yeah. They see themselves.
Yeah.
In all
it's
of
not
it.
black people that are protesting in the streets against Bengali or Pakistani migration, whatever. You have all this work against black people all the time. I'm not your bros. You're not black. Stop talking like you're black. Remember that one?
Yeah.
All kinds of work. Like we didn't do nothing to y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a whole bunch of smoke. Stop talking about systemic racism. Stop talking about that's that woke talk. All of a sudden,
now all of a sudden, white supremacy exists.
Yep.
Yeah, when they start talking about the Pakistanis and the Bengalis, all of a sudden, now you know what racism. Now you know what racism. Now with Sneako, you start talking about Haitians. Now you recognize white supremacy after you went to with your best friend, your white supremacist friend, all over the place, right? what is this brother talking? Anyways, keep watching for a little bit more, man.
People, they're barbaric, they're coming into our lands, look at their culture, look how filthy they are, look how deranged they are, the white race is superior. And who's in support of all of this? Again, a black Muslim, Andrew Tate. So Andrew Tate puts out
and another black Muslim, Sneako. Another black, like, what is happening here? What is going on, man? I can't believe what I'm seeing. Like, this is like brain numbing. It's mind numbingly retarded. Sorry to say it like that, man. But anyways, I'll let y'all get some last words and we'll call it a night, family.
It was a point I was going to make a few minutes ago about Daniel Hakikachu and Yakin. Remember when he was going on that jihad against Yakin? Warning about Yakin, exposing Yakin, telling his followers not to listen to Yakin. But now he's recommending the alt-right.
Yeah.
The alt-right is better. It's better for people to go read books from the alt-right and visit their websites and their pages, white supremacists, than it was for them to look at the material from Yakin Institute.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Make that make sense.
Can you imagine? Don't listen to Sheikh Omar Suleiman. Listen to Nick Fuentes.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens
is better on the subject than the Sheikh.
Yeah. And nobody gonna say nobody got where's what's that weirdo's name, man? Look at that Sheikh. What's his name again, man? Like these dudes are just weirdos, man. Anyways, like man. Anyways, go ahead, brother Josh. Go ahead, proceed. I'll finish your thought there.
The fact that nobody points this out, because it seems obvious to me, nobody points out these clear contradictions. You just get to say things and then just move on as if you never said these things before.
You never said it. Yeah. Like you didn't just say what you just said, right? What? You know what I mean? It's totally nuts, man. But you know what? That's actually from the signs of the last days anyways, right? Where the Prophet ﷺ, he talked about the Ruwaybada, right? And people will take them as leaders. You know, these really degenerate men, right? With no knowledge. They'll take them as their leaders and they will lead themselves astray and they'll lead the people astray. There's so many signs of the last day coming today. Like we see right now, the greening of Mecca. Mecca's green now. Just 3-4 years ago, it wasn't green. Now it's green. We see the Euphrates River completely dried out now, right? We see the gold coming out of the Euphrates River as well, slowly. We see what's happening right now in Palestine. Another sign of the last days, right? So all these signs are coming one by one. Things that we never seen before, they're actually happening, and it's like the Prophet says how he described like a domino effect. You know, it come one right after the other, like when you cut a bead and the beads start coming out like one right after. That's what's happening right now. That's what we're seeing, and what we're seeing is the cognitive dissonance level of the masses skyrocketing to up into, you know, the first heaven. Like the cognitive dissonance is like just potent, where you can see very obvious contradictions and still stand up for degenerate like these, and it really is not Sneako's or Tate's fault, to be honest. Not either one of their faults. It's your YouTubian Da'wah Elites, because they're the ones who are pushing them in the forefront, right? Otherwise, they would have already been finished with their careers, right? So, yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, CL mentioned how Muslims see themselves in Sneako and Tate and these type of racially ambiguous people. And, I kind of mentioned that earlier with the tragic mulatto case. It's all kind of a symptom of, these, the vast racially conflicted people among, throughout the world trying to find their place on the ladder. And, they all unite on anti-blackness. And, that was really the big part of Sneako's admiration of Nick Fuentes. And even now, despite what Nick says about Haiti, he still can't even totally, chastise him for that. He still calls him his buddy.
Yeah.
He still fears him in a way you could tell from that clip. So, it's everybody just trying to find their place on the white supremacist ladder, so to speak. That's how I see it.
You make a good point, because this that little Mexican boy, whatever his name is, I had no idea who he was until
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes, the little Mexican boy. Like, who knew who he was until Fresh and Fit made this dude famous?
Yep. And Sneako, like, almost like he'll bring him on, like he was doing his campaign, so he was on every stream with Sneako for like a good couple of weeks there, right? And now you discovered white supremacy, Sneako. Like, give me a damn.
Sneako said that he should be the next president.
Yeah, of course. He was campaigning for him to be president, right? So, Brother Ali.
Oh, go ahead, Ali.
Salaam Alaikum.
What you got for us, bro?
I just want to say one thing, just because I have experience with dealing with people like this personally, like Sneako and that. And one thing about them is that their stupidity is actually contagious. Like, you'll see that the people that they surround themselves with, they actually are like them. Like, they wouldn't normally be that way, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's just how it is. And if you've been around people like this, you'll understand me, like, on a more personal level. Like, you'll understand. But it's just like, it's just, I just feel like if people experience it for themselves, they'll understand it. It's just, if you watch these people even on a camera, even on a live, like, you'll feel it, right? As you were saying earlier, you can feel like, you feel a certain way, right? There's just, I think it's a sign.
Yeah.
I think it's a sign. And I think that people should listen to themselves. Just trust yourself. That's the problem. Like, people don't trust themselves. Like, they just have this, I don't know. It's like it's just mentally, they're just dissonant from themselves. I don't know why.
It's very, very low vibrational stuff, right? So, but the issue is, in our time, in this, like, 2020, whatever, this generation that's coming up is raised on social media. So they don't know about books and durus and classes or anything like that, right? What they know is they know how to go on YouTube and find a video, right? Because there's not much effort involved in it. And it's, high stimulus for your senses and very little effort. You get me? So what's happening is you have an entire generation of 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and teenagers, right, who are heavily invested in their own indoctrination. You know what I mean? And so we see literally millions of people following folks like this. Like what you're saying, stupidity is contagious. It's because of, their access to social media. But however, gatekeeping in our time has been completely demolished, right? Sneako and Daniel Hikikuchu, they would not have been given legitimacy if it wasn't for AIM Institute, right? When AIM Institute platformed these folks with actual scholars, and then you have folks like Abu Tamia and whatever, and like these are actual Tulab Alim, like running behind the coattails of these guys. Like, what is going on here? This is you, and Abu Tamia is like a respected student of knowledge. Respected student knowledge. When you start doing stuff like that, then you've just opened Pandora's gate. Right, so and once Pandora's box, Pandora's gate. See, my brain cells are mushing up. They're already going, man. What's Pandora's gate? I'm speaking of Donald Trump now. Pandora's box. Once Pandora's box is open, that it can't be closed again. That's it. You're stuck with that problem forever now. All right, so yeah, go ahead, brothers.
Yeah, let me put my tinfoil kufi on for a second.
Go ahead.
So eBay, he said this generation doesn't know anything about telelinks. They don't know nothing about, conferences, with themes about the Sunnah or returning back to the minhaj of the Salaf. They don't know anything about that, being in contact with the ulama. They don't know anything about that, right? Now, the movement that was in the West that was actually promoting that among the Muslims was taken out by social media.
Yeah,
that was disrupted by social media. Now this new thing is being introduced to the Muslims by what? Social media. So it looks like for the last 30 years now, Muslims have been getting their butts kicked by social media.
Yeah.
Anti-intelligence.
Yeah, I was telling a brother on WhatsApp because they were asking about some other dude that they thought that he was, this guy's an agent. They're saying this guy's an agent, right? Because he's some non-Muslim, right? And I was basically saying, well, I don't know if he's an agent because, the new school COINTEL Pro, so to speak. Actually, let me just read the WhatsApp. Go ahead, brother Josh. Let me find this, and then I'll pop it after you. Go ahead, brother Josh.
It's a whole operation against authentic Islam. A whole project, not just social media efforts, but intelligence. Domestic. FBI. If you were a convert in the 90s, 2000s, and you showed any kind of interest in Islam to the extent that you went to a masjid, went to websites like Salat Times and, listened to certain lectures or knew certain a'imma, you would probably get a visit from the FBI and, get a scaring to, desist from that. And if that didn't work, you'd probably get arrested, put away. And this has happened to a lot of people. A lot of people still jailed today to, just to further silence them or get them to, entirely leave the States like Abu Toba did, for example. So it's just been a whole project. I think the youth now see Pikachu's videos as like a dars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what we used to have. That's how exactly how we used to see actual gurus. That's how they see Daniel Pikachu.
We went on Pal Talk.
I heard one of them say that he's a mujahid, bro.
That's wild. Mujahid.
Anyways, this is what I said to the brother. I said, I don't know if that person is an agent, because the new school agents they don't just show up to like platforms like this. They don't just show up anymore, right? But he's obviously fishing around, right? Daniel Hakishi, on the other hand, he's a modern agent. Okay, they don't spy anymore. They don't just go like back in our time. The method was to go in. Yeah, exactly. You spy on the people, right? But you don't do that now because of social media, right? Everything's out in the open, right? So they have technology for spying, right? If they want to spy, they go like, here's my phone. Where's my phone? This is my phone. If they want to spy on me, they hack into my phone and they listen to my conversations directly, right? You know what I mean? That's what happens. So they hack into your devices and listen to directly, right? If they want to do that, right? They don't have to break into your house or go into your organization and bug this and bug that. They don't need to do that anymore, right? All right. So, however, subversion on massive scales is the new method of provocateuring. Okay. And if you saw what happened recently with Russia, they got caught funding tons of far right platforms, right? Recently, this happened. This is big news, right? They were funneling money to fund these far right influencers. Okay, so that's what the agents of today do. They're involved in provocateuring, right? So a country might hire a whole bunch of trolls to go into somebody's social media platform and basically flood them with negative messaging or whatever, right? That's how it's done today, right? It's not just somebody showing up and spying, right? Okay. They want to steer popular opinion. That's what it's done today. They're steering popular opinion, and it's more effective, and it's less risky, and it's much cheaper. Right? That's how it's in our time. Right? This provocateuring, this subversion, steering popular opinion, and that's what's happening in the Muslim YouTubian. That's what happened with YouTubian Da'wah Elites. It's very obvious. It's not even like as savvy, because you don't need to be savvy. All you have to do is get people with big platforms to steer the masses in a direction you want to go, and they're obviously going to the far right, right? So spying in our times is more for corporations. It's not if you want to do corporate espionage or whatnot, try to steal people's technologies or whatever. That's what spying is for now, and not for religious groups. Because religious groups is everything's out in the open, right? What's the method for religious groups is subversion, right? So you're going to get the religious groups to be, I don't know, like these liberal imams or something like that, or like Daniel Hagich, something like this, right? Something within this left-right paradigm, right? And Muslims in our time are ripe and prone to infiltration. They are ripe and prone to infiltration. That's why you have a Daniel Hagich. That's why you have this far right contingent of Muslims. That's why you have this dude who could come out and say, and Sneako is fighting against white supremacy. Like, what? And people eat that up. Like, what? That's how you can get that stuff. You know what I mean? And if enough people say it and jump on that bandwagon, it's groupthink. It's like, you know what I mean? There is science experiments done this in the 60s. You know, Project Paperclip? Have you ever heard of this?
Yep.
All right. So for the audience who doesn't know, what happened after World War II, the U.S. government had a secret project to basically retain the Nazi scientist in the U.S. It's called Project Paperclip, right? So they retained these Nazi scientists, right? And they were basically had a technological, like how you guess, like a renaissance, particularly when it comes to mind control, these type of things. Okay. And they did all these experiments for mind control and propaganda and whatnot. And one of the experiments that was done, not necessarily by Project Paperclip, but it was you have certain experiments done with groupthink, right? So they would hire actors, right, to come in and and then they bring regular people in, and these actors were supposed to get, like, for example, they do a test, and then these actors were answer these questions wrong, and then the people who weren't actors, even though they knew the answers were wrong, they would answer these questions wrong as well, just to follow them, because groupthink, right? This is what's happening right now. Right, so that's like a really, really summarized version. But I if you guys don't know what Project Paperclip is, I highly suggest you guys go look this up. Right, it's very important to understand this particular thing. Right.
Yeah.
But I'll let you guys get the last words in. Let's go. We'll go Brother Ali, and then Brother Josh, and then Brother CL, and we'll call it a night, inshallah.
No, I pretty much said everything I wanted to say, but yeah, no, like it's just, I think that people just need to, I don't know, like it's just, I think the word needs to get out, like, and we need to say, like, call things for what they are, essentially, and just like say like what's blatantly obvious, you know, because people can see it and it's just there and no one talks about it, and it just becomes like furniture, you know. So I think that that's pretty much it.
Hey, brother Josh.
Yeah, like Ali said, no one's really, especially the Muslim channels, the Muslim influencers, the YouTubian elites, they don't, you know, instead of shunning it or ignoring it like they should, they endorse it and you know, bring them on the platforms and agree with them and, you know, highlight them as, you know, good exemplaries of, you know, a Muslim convert. I think it's ridiculous. And, you know, the Feachaz is the only channel that seems to be calling it out. You know, it needs to happen more considering how widespread it is online. So, you know, appreciate you for calling it out as always. And jazakumullah khair. You know, appreciate it.
Brother CL.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you don't have more people calling it out doesn't mean that people don't know there's something wrong happening. It just means that people are too cowardly to go against the grain. And they don't want to be the first one to step out and say something.
100% there.
Yep. So everybody's going along to get along. And
that's one.
And the point I made earlier about when I said I was putting my tinfoil kufi on, and I'll add another one onto it, is when a group of brothers try to revive that whole conference thing, right? They try to revive the Salafi conference thing. Who came and disrupted that whole thing?
Who was it?
Daniel Pikachu.
Ah, yeah. We're talking about recently. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They tried to revive that. They tried to revive having conferences in the masjid.
Yeah, that is an excellent point, man. That is an excellent point right there, man. Yeah, you are right. You are right. Yes. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Bro came in and just destroyed everything like a wrecking ball. I mean, it is what it is. It did happen, didn't it? It happened.
Oh yeah.
I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
No, decimated.
Yep. That whole incident became, ever since that's happened, have you even heard about those conferences anymore?
No. The most recent one, right? They brought Sneako.
Yeah, they tried to bring Sneako on.
So they went from bad to worse. Like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh. With Sneako.
You know, he goes to the conference today, and tomorrow who is with those raunchy OnlyFans hoes, you know, those raunchy. Sorry about this, man. I got to say it, but those. Them hoes, right? They think that their filters is reality, man. These are the type of. Sorry to say it like that, man. The filter is not you, okay? Your filter is your filter, okay? Oh my gosh! And they all up in Fresh and Fit, and these are the women that they're arguing with it. They argue with them on Fresh and Fit, and then sleep with them in the nighttime when they finish. Like, what in the world?
Yeah.
After doing the Salafi conference, man, it's crazy, man. It's totally insane.
And then Muslims that I know personally go on to Fresh and Fit to have a religious debate.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy, man.
Yes, it is crazy. But see,
yeah, but you know, at the end of it, all it means, family, don't get frustrated. All it means is that those who are patient upon the truth is more barakah for us. That's it. That's all it means. Right? So just be patient and perseverant. Right? It's very easy for us to sell out. How easy is it to sell out? You know, the difficult thing is to remain with your integrity intact, right? And die with your belief firmly intact. You get what I mean? That's a difficult thing. All right. Anybody can shuck and jive and twitch and twirl and twerk. Like, what the heck? That's the easiest thing in the world. Right. But we're living in those times, right? If people can follow, Sneako and Andrew Tate, and like I said, they are not the real problem. The real problem is your Eddie from the Dean shows. It's your Muhammad Hijabs. It's your Ali Dawahs. Those are the real problems. Your Dan Hakikis. These folks with massive platforms that are pushing these people in front of the Muslims. But if you were so lacking knowledge and conviction in your religion that you actually end up following them, then you have no chance against the Dajjal. You have no chance against the Dajjal. All right, so may Allah help us. I mean, and with that, family, free the land, beloved, free the land, free the land, free the land. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight and supporting the channel. Like, subscribe, share. Hit me up on channel on Patreon. See my brain cells. I'm talking like Trump again. Hit me on Patreon, PayPal, buy me a coffee, super chats, whatever. Right, and we want to thank Sister Tika again for your generosity. May Allah reward you and bless you, multiply for your many fold. And Salaam Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.